He had signed up as an engineer, not a survivor. His assignment was simple: travel with a small crew to inspect a mineral-rich moon near the Andromeda sector. Study the terrain, collect data, return home. No danger. No combat. No surprises, but space rarely listens to human plans. A sudden electrical storm in orbit had fried the ship's engine. Before the crew could react, the ship lost control and spiraled downward like a dying comet. Sirens blared. Sparks shot through the hallways. Cole remembered people shouting and then nothing. When he woke up, he was not on the ship. He was lying on warm golden sand, under an orange sky with two suns glowing above him. His entire body ached. His uniform was torn. The air tasted sweet and metallic. Strange bird-like creatures circled high above, making echoing calls. He was alone, or so he thought. A shadow fell over him. He blinked, trying to focus. Something, stood above him. A tall figure, easily 7 feet, with silver-blue skin that shimmered in the sunlight. Her eyes were large and crystal-like, glowing faintly with turquoise light. Long tendrils, like living hair made of soft vines, fell over her shoulders. She wore armor made from something that looked like polished stone fused with metal. Cole's instincts screamed to crawl away, but he couldn't move. The alien woman tilted her head, studying him. Then she spoke. Her voice was deep, yet calm, like distant thunder softened by rain. "You are small," she said, almost curiously, "but alive." Cole tried to speak, but his throat was dry. Only a weak cough came out. The alien woman leaned down and touched his forehead with her palm. Her hand was warm, surprisingly gentle. A faint hum flowed through his body. His pain faded slightly. His vision cleared. "Stay," she ordered softly. "I will return." She walked away with heavy, echoing steps. Cole stared after her, unsure whether he had been rescued or captured. Minutes later, she came back carrying a large fruit-like pod. She cracked it open easily with her bare hands and offered it to him. "Eat." Cole hesitated. What if it was poisonous? What if it paralyzed him? Then again, he was already stranded on an alien world with no supplies and no way to survive alone. He took a small bite. It tasted like sweet honey mixed with cool water. Life returned to his limbs. Strength filled his muscles. The alien woman nodded in approval. "Good. You will recover." Before Cole could ask who she was or where he was, she lifted him effortlessly in her arms. He gasped, startled. She carried him as if he weighed nothing, like a mother carrying a child. He should have been embarrassed. Instead, he felt strangely safe. She brought him to a cave-like shelter carved into the side of a glowing blue cliff. Inside were tools, stone-carved furniture, and animal hides. There was even a small fire burning, though Cole saw no wood, just strange crystals fueling the flames. She laid him down gently on a bed made of thick furs. "You will rest, ... she said. "Then you will stand." Cole glanced at her. ... "Are you?" he whispered. She looked surprised that he could talk already. "I am Ryla, warrior of Clan Tharoon." Cole repeated awkwardly. "I'm Cole. Cole Dawson. Human." She nodded as if memorizing the name. "You fell from the sky," she said. "I saw the fire trail. My ship." Cole murmured. "Others. Did you see others?" Ryla's expression darkened slightly. "I searched the crash site. Only broken metal and scorched ground. No more life." Cole's chest tightened. He closed his eyes. His crewmates, his friends gone, a soft silence filled the room. Surprisingly, Ryla did not leave. She sat nearby, sharpening a blade made of black stone. She kept glancing at him, not with distrust, but as if guarding him. Finally, Cole whispered, "Why did you help me?" She paused, sharpening, and looked at him directly. "It is tradition," she said simply. "The fallen from sky must be given chance to stand." Cole frowned. "Chance to stand?" She nodded, double quotes. "Yes. If one survives the fall, they are strong. Strength, must be tested. If they pass the tests, they may walk among us. Walk among us, Cole swallowed. Was she inviting him to join her people? Before he could think more, exhaustion pulled him into sleep. When he awoke, the suns were lower. The cave glowed with soft blue crystals embedded in the stone walls. The air smelled of herbs. He sat up and noticed Ryla standing near the entrance with her arms folded. "You stand," she said. Cole blinked. "What? You rested? Now you stand." He hesitated, then forced himself to his feet. His legs trembled, but held. Ryla stepped forward and handed him something, a smooth metallic band, shaped like a wide bracelet. "Wear," he slipped it onto his wrist. It immediately tightened, molding perfectly to his arm. He gasped. "What?" "It will measure you," Ryla said. "Strength, endurance, mind, spirit." Cole frowned. "Measure for what?" She didn't answer. Instead, she walked outside and pointed at a set of stone pillars, carved with alien symbols. They stood in a circle nearby. "First trial?" she said. "Trial?" Cole repeated nervously. She nodded. "You lift." He stared. "Those pillars weighed hundreds of pounds at least. Are you serious?" "I'm just an engineer." Ryla raised an eyebrow. "Engineer?" "Weapon maker." "Machine fixer," Cole corrected weakly. "Then you fix your strength," she said calmly. Cole groaned. "That's not how engineering works." She tilted her head. "On Theron, it is." Cole sighed, then stepped toward the nearest pillar. He gripped the cold stone and pulled. Nothing, his arms shook. His back strained. RHY Law watched silently, not mocking, not annoyed. Just watching. He tried again. His muscles burned. Sweat rolled down his face. He failed. He fell to his knees, panting. "I can't." Ryla approached. She didn't look disappointed. "Not yet," she said. She placed one large hand on his back. Again, Cole stared at her. "Why are you making me do this?" She held his gaze. "Because you lived," she said softly. "Those who live must prove why." Her words sank into him. He had survived a crash that killed everyone else. Why? What purpose did he still have? He didn't know. But maybe, just maybe, this is how he would find out. He stood again. He grabbed the stone. He lifted with everything he had. This time it moved only an inch. But it moved. He gasped in surprise. Ryla's eyes glowed slightly brighter. "Good," she said. For the next hours, she made him repeat the motion. Lift, rest, lift again. No shortcuts. No complaints. When his arms felt like they were going to fall off, she finally called an end. "You did well," she said. He collapsed on the ground. Breathing hard, she stepped closer. Then, to his shock, she leaned over him. Her face inches from his, her glowing turquoise eyes locked onto his. "You're ready now?" she said quietly. Cole blinked, confused. "Ready for what?" Ryla didn't answer. Instead, she stood and looked toward the horizon. In the far distance, the ground shook. Thunderous roars echoed across the plains. Dark shapes moved against the orange sky. Something massive was approaching Ryla, lifted her stone blade and rested it on her shoulder. Then she glanced back at Cole, ready for what comes next. Cole's heart pounded. He tried to stand, but his arms and legs still trembled from the training. The orange sky of the alien world was now darker as the suns dipped lower, painting long shadows across the plains. The massive shapes that Ryla had been watching were closer. They moved with terrifying speed, their bodies larger than any human had ever seen. Cole looked to her for guidance. What are they?" he asked, his voice shaky. Ryla didn't answer immediately. Her eyes scanned the horizon. Then she said, "They are Varuan beasts. They are not enemies of my clan, but they test strength. They will attack anything weaker than their challenge." Cole swallowed. He had no idea what that meant. Attack him? Test him? Could he survive? Ryla walked toward him, placing one hand on his shoulder. The touch was gentle, but her gaze was sharp. Cole Dawson, today you learn that survival is not enough. You must act. You must lead. You must stand. Cole blinked. Lead, act, stand. He felt like he was standing at the edge of a cliff. Someone had just told him to jump. She stepped back and signaled toward the plains. They approach. You must move, Cole followed, trying to keep up with her long strides. The ground rumbled beneath their feet. The beasts, hulking, armored creatures with metallic spines and glowing red eyes, were closing in. Cole could see their sharp claws digging into the soft sand. Dust rose around them with every step. Ryla turned to him. Do not panic. You have trained. You are ready. Cole tried to remember her words as his lungs burned. He didn't feel ready. He had no weapons, no plan. All he had was his strength, the mysterious band on his wrist, and the faint hope that Ryla's words were true. The first Voran beast broke through the horizon. It was enormous, taller than a human house, with skin like polished obsidian and jagged metallic ridges along its spine. Its glowing eyes locked onto him. Cole froze. Ryla gripped her blackstone blade and took a fighting stance. Do not run, she commanded. Stand. Move with me. Cole tried to mimic her stance. He felt clumsy, exposed, weak. But then, instinct kicked in. The survival instinct that had carried him through the crash, the long walk through alien sand, and the endless hours of strength trials surged. The beast roared. The sound vibrated through the air, making Cole's chest ache. But he stood. He lifted the metallic band slightly. A soft hum responded, almost like the band was reading his heartbeat and giving him energy. Ryla's eyes glowed brighter. Good. Now, move. Cole ran beside her, weaving through the uneven plains, dodging the massive claws that smashed into the ground just inches from them. The sand exploded around them with every impact. He noticed something strange. Each time he ran, each time he dodged, the band on his wrist seemed to push energy into him, filling his legs with strength he didn't know he had. They enhance your body, Ryla said, noticing his surprise. They bond with those they deem ready. You are chosen. Cole nodded, breathing hard. He didn't feel chosen. He felt terrified. But he did not stop. He could not. The Voran beasts split into two groups. One charged at Ryla, the other at Cole. He froze for a split second. He wasn't ready. He wasn't a fighter. Then something inside him snapped. A thought, clear and precise. I will not die here. Not yet. I have a purpose. He lifted a jagged stone, the only weapon he could find, and swung at the first beast. The stone struck one of the metallic ridges. Sparks flew. The beast roared in surprise, but did not stop. Ryla noticed and shouted, Do not only defend. Attack with intention. Cole understood immediately. The band on his wrist pulsed. He felt his body react. He dodged another swing from the beast and used his weight to push it backward. Then he jumped, striking its spine with the stone again. This time, the beast stumbled. Ryla moved closer to him, guiding his actions with subtle gestures. Yes, stronger. Faster. Cole's confidence grew. He realized he was not just surviving, he was controlling the battlefield. He could anticipate the beast's moves, using his momentum and Ryla's guidance to strike strategically. Minutes passed like hours. Cole's muscles burned, sweat stung his eyes, but he did not stop. Finally, the first beast fell, crashing onto the sand. Cole panted heavily, gripping the stone, staring at the massive body. He felt alive, more alive than he had ever felt. Ryla approached him, placing a hand on his shoulder. You survived the first test, she said. The others will learn your strength. The remaining beasts retreated into the horizon. Cole stood, chest heaving, staring after them. His mind raced. He had survived an impossible encounter, but he also realized this was only the beginning. Ryla guided him back to the cave, where the soft glow of blue crystals illuminated the interior. Cole sank to the ground, exhausted. You have done well, she said. But there is more. Cole looked up. More? She nodded. Physical strength is only one part. You must also prove your mind. In your heart. Cole frowned. Mind and heart. How? Ryla pointed toward a narrow corridor deeper inside the cave. Strange glowing symbols adorned the walls. Inside is the trial of vision. You will face illusions. You will see your fears. You will see yourself as others see you. Only by overcoming this will you be ready for what comes next. Cole swallowed. He had survived a deadly beast. He could lift massive stones, but illusions? Seeing his fears? That sounded far worse. RHY Law saw his hesitation. You will not face it alone, she said. I will guide you, but the trial is yours. You must make the choice to see and confront. Cole nodded slowly. He followed her into the glowing corridor. The air grew cooler. Shadows danced along the walls. The symbols glimmered and shifted. Suddenly, the walls disappeared. Cole found himself in a vast open space. The ground was soft, misty, and white. Above him, stars shone, but they were not stars he recognized. They were strange constellations, moving as if alive. Then he saw figures appear in the mist. At first, they were blurry. Then they became clear. He saw his crewmates. But they were twisted, distorted, their faces twisted in pain. They spoke to him, accusing him. Why didn't you save us? Why did you survive? You left us to die? Cole fell to his knees. No, I couldn't. Ryla's voice echoed in the mist. You cannot change the past. You cannot control what has already happened, but you can control what comes next. The illusions intensified. Shadows formed into his worst fears, falling endlessly, being crushed by massive objects, drowning in alien waters, and being surrounded by enemies he could not fight. Cole shook his head. Panic rose in him. But then he remembered the stone pillars, the Voruan beasts, and Ryla's words. He was stronger than fear, if he chose to be. He stood, trembling but determined. I will face this, he whispered. The shadows reacted. The accusing faces of his crew reached for him. He did not flinch. He did not run. He faced each one, nodding silently. I will survive. I will protect those who need me. I will lead when I must. The mist swirled violently. Then, as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. The white ground became the glowing corridor once again. Cole stood, breathing hard, sweat on his forehead. He felt different, stronger, certain. Ryla stepped forward, placing her hand on his shoulder. You have completed the trial of vision, she said. Your heart is ready. Your mind is clear. Your strength is proven. Now you are ready for the final test. The one that will decide if you truly belong among the Therun. Cole's stomach tightened. He felt anticipation and fear. Final test. What? What is it? Ryla's turquoise eyes glowed in the dim light. The trial of leadership. You will face decisions that affect the lives of many. Your actions will be judged. Only those who can think clearly, act decisively, and carry responsibility will pass. Cole swallowed. He had survived impossible odds. He had faced beasts. He had confronted illusions. But leadership, he had never led anyone in his life. Could he make the right choices? Could he be the person Ryla believed he could be? She stepped back and raised her black stone blade. The time is coming, Cole Dawson. Soon, you will see why you survived. Soon, you will understand why you were chosen. Cole nodded, gripping the edge of his wristband. He felt the hum of energy flowing through him. His arms no longer trembled. His legs were steady. His mind was clear. He was ready. But what awaited him outside the cave was far greater than any stone, any beast, any illusion, and Cole knew nothing would ever be the same again. The sky was a deep, burning orange when Cole stepped out of the cave. The suns had nearly set, casting long shadows across the plains. He felt the weight of the wristband on his arm, and the strange hum of energy coursing through him. He was no longer just a survivor. He was something more, though he did not yet fully understand what. Ryla stood a few paces ahead,
Oh,
her black stone blade in hand, eyes scanning the horizon. She turned to him. "The trial of leadership begins," she said. "You will face challenges that affect lives. Decisions you make now will have consequences. Observe carefully, act wisely." Cole nodded. He felt a surge of determination. He had passed every test so far. He would not fail now. Before them, the plain shifted. The sand began to rise like waves, forming a miniature battlefield. Figures appeared, Thuron warriors, young and old, all armed and alert. They moved in formations, preparing for a simulated attack. Cole recognized the patterns. This was no ordinary training. This was a mock war, designed to test strategy, judgment, and courage. Ryla's voice cut through the air. "Cole Dawson, you are to lead. You will issue orders. You will choose who fights, who defends, who holds. Their lives depend on your decisions." Cole's stomach tightened. He had never commanded anyone before. He had only fixed machines, repaired engines, and solved technical problems. Leadership. This was a battlefield. People's lives were at stake. He took a deep breath. I will do my best," he said. "Then begin," Ryla commanded. The mock battle started. From the edge of the plain, small, swift creatures charged. Not real enemies, but Theron warriors, posing as invaders. Cole quickly realized that hesitation would cost him. He remembered the lessons from the Voroan beasts. Anticipate. Act decisively. Trust instincts. He pointed to a group of young warriors. "Flank left. Use the rocks for cover." The warriors moved quickly, following his commands. Another group hesitated near a stone ridge. Cole ran toward them. "Hold your line. Protect each other." The creatures charged. Cole's heart raced. The warriors stumbled but held. He noticed one young fighter about to fall. Without thinking, he sprinted forward and grabbed the Theron by the arm, pulling them to safety. Ryla watched silently. Her eyes glowed faintly, but she said nothing. Cole knew she was observing, testing his instinct to protect as well as to command. Minutes passed. The simulation grew more complex. Several groups of creatures approached from multiple angles. Cole had to make split-second decisions. Who to send to fight, who to defend, how to position the warriors. Each choice carried risk. Each choice could mean success or failure. Cole felt a strange calm amidst the chaos. The hum from his wristband pulsed, almost like a heartbeat matching his own. He realized something. This band was not just measuring him. It was guiding him, connecting him to the energy of the world, helping him react faster than he thought possible. He issued orders with growing confidence. The warriors followed. They moved like a single organism, reacting to his commands. One by one, the creatures were pushed back. Cole felt a sense of satisfaction, not triumph, but understanding. Leadership was about timing, observation, and trust. Suddenly, the simulation shifted. The creatures stopped moving. From the horizon, real danger approached. Massive Voroan beasts, more than Cole had faced before, emerged, charging toward the plains. They were testing him for real now. Ryla stepped beside him. "This is no longer practice. These are actual challenges. Your decisions will determine who survives." Cole's stomach tightened. He looked at the warriors. Fear flashed in their eyes. He had no idea what to do. Then he remembered everything. The crash, the training with the stone pillars, the illusions in the trial of vision, and the first Voroan beasts. All of it led to this moment. He took a deep breath. "Listen to me," he shouted. "Form two lines. Protect the center. Use the hills for cover. Move quickly, but stay together. Watch each other's backs." The warriors obeyed. Cole ran beside them, coordinating their moves. The Voran beasts roared as they approached. Cole's mind worked like a machine, calculating distances, predicting paths, adjusting positions. One beast swung its massive claw toward a young warrior. Cole reacted instantly. He grabbed a fallen branch and used it to push the creature away, saving the warrior. Another beast charged from the side. Cole shouted instructions to redirect the fighters, creating openings to attack weak points. The battle raged. Dust and sparks flew. Cole realized that he was no longer terrified. He was focused. Every movement, every decision, every word mattered. He felt alive, more alive than he had ever felt. Then he saw something unexpected. A smaller Vorowin beast broke off from the group and charged directly at Ryla. Without thinking, Cole ran toward her, intercepting the beast. He grabbed a jagged stone and struck its spine, staggering it long enough for Ryla to attack and finish it off. She glanced at him, eyes glowing brightly. "Good," she said. "You act not only as a leader, but as a protector." "That is strength of heart," Cole nodded, panting. The rest of the beasts were finally driven back, retreating toward the horizon. The warriors cheered, though their voices were shaky. They had survived. They had followed him. Cole looked around, taking in the battlefield. It was littered with scorched sand and footprints, but everyone was alive. He felt a surge of relief and pride. For the first time, he understood what Ryla had meant. He was ready. Ryla approached him and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Cole Dawson, you have passed the trial of leadership. You have shown strength, courage, and wisdom. You are ready for what comes next." Cole swallowed. "What comes next?" he asked. Ryla's eyes glowed brighter. "The truth of why you survived. Why you were chosen. You will learn soon." Before Cole could ask more, the ground trembled beneath them. A massive shadow moved across the horizon. Cole squinted. He could barely make out the figure, but it was enormous, taller than any building. With wings stretching across the sky, Ryla stepped in front of him, placing her blade on the ground. "This is the guardian of the Theron. It will test you not as a warrior, but as one who can lead and protect. You will not fight it with weapons alone. You will face it with strategy, courage, and heart." Cole felt his pulse quicken. He had survived beasts, illusions, and the battlefield. But this was something entirely different. The guardian roared, a sound so deep it seemed to shake the very ground. Ryla's gaze met his. "Remember everything. You are not alone. Trust your instincts. Trust your people. Trust yourself." Cole nodded. He stepped forward, facing the guardian. The ground trembled as it approached, each step sending shockwaves through the sand. Cole's mind raced. He remembered the warriors, the Vorowin beasts, the illusions, the band on his wrist. And Ryla's guidance. He realized something important. Leadership was not about being the strongest. It was about understanding, timing, and connection. Cole raised his arms slightly. The band on his wrists pulsed. He felt energy surge through him. He focused, projecting calm and control. He guided the warriors to form protective lines, signaling when to advance and when to hold. The guardian paused. It seemed to sense his presence, judging him. Cole didn't flinch. He met its gaze steadily, showing courage and calm. He spoke aloud, though the sound barely carried. "I am responsible. I will protect those who trust me. I will lead with care and strength." The guardian roared again, then lowered itself slightly, testing him further. Cole guided the warriors in synchronized movements, directing their energy without fear. The band pulsed, and he felt a strange bond forming with the guardian, not control, but understanding. Minutes passed like hours. Then, slowly, the guardian bowed its massive head. The roar softened to a deep, echoing hum. Cole felt a wave of relief and awe. He had passed the final test. Ryla stepped forward, placing her hand on his shoulder. "Cole Dawson, you have completed all trials. You are ready." Cole exhaled, his body trembling from exhaustion and adrenaline. "Ready for what?" he asked, still breathless. Ryla's eyes glowed brighter than ever. "Ready to lead the Theron. Ready to face the challenges that none before you could endure. Ready to protect, guide, and survive. You were chosen because you could rise, even when everything was lost. You are no longer just a human engineer. You are part of our people. You are part of our future. Cole looked around at the warriors, at the plains, at the setting suns. Everything he had endured, every test, every challenge, every fear, it had prepared him for this. He felt something he had never felt before. Purpose. He glanced at Ryla. She gave a small nod, a faint smile forming on her lips. You have earned your place, she said softly. Cole smiled back, a mix of relief, pride, and determination. I understand now, he said. Thank you. The sun set completely, leaving the sky filled with twin stars and glowing constellations. Cole stood tall, feeling the energy of the alien world coursing through him. He was ready to lead, ready to protect, and ready for whatever the future held. Ryla's hand rested lightly on his shoulder. Tomorrow, we begin a new chapter. Tonight? Rest. You have earned it, Cole nodded, feeling exhaustion wash over him. But it was a good exhaustion, a feeling of accomplishment and growth. He had survived the impossible. He had faced fears, beasts, and leadership itself. And he had emerged stronger, wiser, and ready as he looked at the glowing horizon. He realized that this was only the beginning.